Hey guys. Good, how are you?
The Spokane Police Department is wrapping up a major overhaul on the way it controls crime and interacts with the community.
Feel okay? You need a new hat?
The collaborative reforms include 38 improvements recommended by citizens and the Department of Justice after a man named Otto Zem died during a 2006 confrontation with officers.
That led to a criminal prosecution, community demanding changes, and several years later, we put that together to make some real changes in Spokane.
I'm leaving. One of the most significant changes included new training for officers to help police recognize and de-escalate situations where emotions, drugs, or mental health problems could lead to somebody getting hurt.
So the CIT training is 40 hours of preparing an officer for those kinds of encounters he or she may have with someone who is in crisis, whether it's because of a mental illness or a substance use disorder.
Robert! Hands free!
Spokane police are also now outfitted with specialized equipment to help them better de-escalate dangerous situations at a distance. So when Robert tried to commit suicide by cop, a gun that shoots a hard piece of foam allowed officers to avoid the use of deadly force.
One of the things we stress through CIT is that you have to understand that this person is in a crisis. Either they have a mental health issue or they're just enraged. And how you engage with them can either help calm down that situation or can throw fuel on the fire.
New tools and training are some of the reasons why, during the past 5 years, Spokane police have seen a 26% decrease in uses of force and a 68% decrease in complaints.
I think the message that we've got out to the community that we are a department that truly does care. We do want to grow, we do want to evolve, but more importantly, we are a department that has a heart for the community.
Here you go. Hey, good cut, good try. One more.
Spokane police have also reached out to the people they serve. Programs like the Police Athletic League and the Youth Police Initiative help build trust and relationships.
And now it's more, let's work together and get to know the community. And the police are going out both from leadership and individually and engaging with the community and restoring that relationship that police work for the civilians.
Outreach to citizens young and old has boosted the police department's customer service scores. In 2015, just 56% of the public felt SPD was successfully working to improve its relationship with residents. By 2018, that approval rating had jumped to 87%. That same survey showed 82% of the people contacted by Spokane cops felt the officers treated them fairly and respectfully.
The partnership we have with our citizens, the trust our citizens have with their police officers, that's where we start dealing with and addressing neighborhood level criminal activity, and that's how we become the safest city of our size.
Collaborative reform also called for more civilian oversight and created the Office of the Police Ombudsman.
And the idea in that was not to punish or discipline or point fingers at the police. The idea was to understand what happened in any situation and make recommendations of how to minimize the chance of that happening in the future.
So it's now been 12 years since Otto Zem's death. Almost half of the police force has retired since then, and in their place, a better equipped, more highly trained police department.
I think once the community really starts to understand that their department cares about them, it makes it easier for them to care about us as well.
You have a good day.
If you'd like to see the report on the Spokane Police Department's collaborative reforms in its entirety, go to the Spokane Police Department's website.
Like a suspicious male acting high, maybe needs medics.
1 out of every 4 calls Spokane police respond to involves somebody having a mental health crisis.
Have you been booked on this warrant before?
If someone appears to be uncooperative, arriving officers have to quickly decide if that person is just being difficult
Are you on any medications right now?
or deserves a chance to work things out with the cops through crisis intervention.
What you say to them at that point of contact is either going to help them start in the healing process or it's going to start them spiraling further down.
As we kind of approach him, he's kind of not making a lot of sense.
The Spokane Police Department began its crisis intervention team training back in 2000, a 40-hour class that helps officers recognize how to de-escalate tense situations so no one gets hurt.
An officer who has been trained in CIT is equipped to understand what is mental illness and what does it mean when someone with a mental illness is in a crisis.
Coincidentally, Spokane's successes with crisis intervention put the city first in line for a series of grants, money from a lawsuit filed against Washington State's mental health hospitals for not giving their patients competency evaluations in a timely fashion.
So we were able to apply for this grant and create a community diversion unit where we have 4 officers who ride along with 4 of our mental health professionals, and as a team they are dispatched to anyone who is in a crisis, and they are able to use both disciplines for a better outcome.
He can't figure out why traffic is stopped.
Today, Jay Dobbs and Officer Kyle Hewitt are tag-teaming calls that include a woman walking in the middle of Sprague Avenue traffic.
Have you had any thoughts this past month, like to go to sleep and not wake up or to hurt yourself?
Dobbs doesn't think her client is suicidal, but learns the woman is interested in mental health treatment.
And the outcomes we're looking for are that that individual is not arrested if there's an opportunity that they do not need to be arrested, that we can divert them to community resources.
This woman could have been arrested for sleeping in a downtown viaduct.
Do you ever hear or see things that aren't really there?
But Dobbs and Hewitt are more interested in getting her connected to outpatient treatment services for her anxiety and depression issues.
We are also looking at outcomes where we are not taking every single person to an emergency department, that we can actually deal with the crisis in our community and wrap resources around that person so that they can remain in the community and also get ongoing services.
According to Frontier Behavioral Health, during the past 3 months, their community diversion unit has contacted 198 people. 153 of them were referred to outpatient services instead of local emergency rooms. 15 people, including Ashley, avoided a trip to our overcrowded jail, which can delay these people getting the help they need.
How you doing with getting your ID and stuff? Is that working out pretty good?
If you're homeless in Spokane, then you have probably already met Bob Peeler and Amanda Boyer.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing?
Go to work?
Do you want to come and work with us?
A couple hours.
Both are familiar faces around our transient camps and street corners where they offer words of hope or a chance to earn some quick cash doing day labor.
Let's find you something where you're happy doing it, where you feel like you're doing good.
But there is also something really special about these outreach workers.
My name's Amanda, by the way. What's your name?
Amanda is Bob's youngest daughter.
She didn't have a chance. Her mom's a caseworker. And what was fascinating is both jobs she got in social work field, nobody knew she was my daughter until after they hired her. So she did this on her own.
And so you have to wonder why Amanda passed up better paying careers to follow in her father's footsteps and help the homeless.
I've been with my dad being in the community since I was 7 or 9, doing the SAC dinners that SNAP provided, working with the homeless community, building relationships even at that young age.
So it's a desire to help the less fortunate that's now prompted 2 generations of the Peeler family to reach out to the people a lot of us avoid.
I tell folks that the people we're visiting are our neighbors. 70% of them are from this area. And from the grace of God, it's not you.
Hi, how are you?
Neighbors or not, people who are down on their luck can be rather antisocial.
I've never seen you down before.
But Amanda's unassuming sincerity quickly wins their confidence.
I know a lot of them feel lost right now already. Why not be the person that's right there helping them along the way?
It would be easy for a lot of us to lose patience with the process. Beating homelessness is like giving up cigarettes. First attempts are rarely successful.
I have a whole list of places that hire felons.
But Bob and Amanda are about removing barriers to recovery.
We are doing good work. We are seeing people getting back on their feet.
And if Bob ever doubted his mission in life to change people's lives, his convictions are validated by his living legacy, his equally devoted daughter.
And I see how she works with folks, the respect that she gives other people. And that makes me happy, makes me proud.
While some of us are still waiting for that magic wand to make the homeless disappear, outreach workers like Bob and Amanda and their colleagues are making it happen one person at a time.
You have to love each other, and you have to be there, and you have to build these relationships, or these people are going to be stuck out here and have nowhere to go.
Stuck in what will soon be freezing weather. So to find out what you can do to help end homelessness, visit the City of Spokane website. Jeff Humphrey, City Cable 5.
So in the gym, you get to beat up cops. It's pretty cool.
Sometimes a self-defense class offered by the Spokane Police Department can get its start with a bang.
You guys all deserve this.
All right, no one's running around, right? We're all good, we're good. All right, so what did we just experience? Active shooter, okay? Has anyone heard that term before?
It's called enhancing the survival mindset, which means having a plan to react to a crime before you are a victim of crime.
You go for his legs, you go for his head, you go for his arms, I'm gonna try and grab the weapon. Is that plan got a better chance of success than let's get him? Okay?
Students learn what can make them an attractive target to thieves and other bad people.
Type a few words, scan, type a few words, scan.
And then,
hi, how are you?
The lessons take a darker turn.
I just need some cash.
Yeah.
Do you have like some spare change? I'm very hungry.
Students are pulled out of the class to face some very realistic training scenarios.
Oh, ladies, hi. Hey, thank you so much. I thought I was stuck.
With the cops playing some pretty persistent bad guys, most women didn't realize there was a 12-gauge shotgun holding up the hood of this supposedly disabled car.
I'm calling 911 right now.
But Bethany Alcamo did.
I've walked through dark parking lots where lights were out and felt uncomfortable and called campus security.
Officers gave Bethany and Jenny high marks for recognizing the danger and keeping their distance from a stranger. But students also learned how and when it's time to fight.
Turn. Just a crunch.
Like what to do when someone grabs you from behind.
The idea is to try to make contact, and now I'm going to grind it in there.
How to use improvised weapons like a fistful of car keys.
And it's offline, and you follow up and wrap.
There you go.
Out there on the mats, these students supported each other, their doubts replaced by growing determination.
Come here! Ah!
There was bonding and empowerment shared by at least 4 pairs of mother-daughters.
As she's getting more and more independent, I wanted her to have the independence and that situational awareness to know what to do if she's confronted with things that happen out there.
At the end of the class, these women cheered for their instructors and cheered for themselves. They will proudly wear their survival mindset t-shirts. But most of all, these graduates are developing new tactical strategies so they can confidently defend themselves and the people they care about. Jeff Humphrey, City Cable 5.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack, a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent. Get back on your plan or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
will not hide it.
We embrace ambition. Women are made to be ambitious. I will dream big. Big, without hesitation.
We will take risks, not live in fear.
We will rise together.
Embrace ambition.
Will you?
Every day, we go about our lives driven by routine. Our vision is clouded by the very normalcy we take for granted. Countless victims of human trafficking walk among us, invisible, until now. The Blue Campaign provides a unified voice for those who combat human trafficking. Whether it's forced labor, domestic servitude, or the sex trade, it's time to open our eyes. Learn what you can do to help by visiting dhs.gov/bluecampaign.
A Fortune 500 company wants to help slingshot Spokane into the future.
We've been looking at Spokane for quite a long time.
Verizon says that Spokane's commitment to operating as a smart city has the telecommunications giant thinking this is the right place to develop and test new technologies.
What the mayor has been able to do to the city of Spokane has been phenomenal. Everywhere you look, you see progression, we see innovation, and most importantly for us, we see inclusion.
Verizon is the latest company to partner with a local organization called Urbanova, the group that's made Spokane's University District a proving ground for test driving new ideas that can make urban living safer and more efficient.
In large part, our work here will be about gathering, analyzing, and harnessing data to help us make smarter decisions and truly create the city of choice. Decisions that save time, money, or energy.
Urbanova is a collaboration with local and international companies, higher education, the city, and university district. With help from partners like Avista and Itron, Urbanova is testing how energy generated from these solar panels can work in harmony with power coming off the grid. Another project along Division dims street lights when sensors show that traffic is thinning out for the night. This rooftop array is part of an air quality monitoring system to help us gather real-time information about air pollution and allow people to make healthier choices about avoiding it. Cities like Spokane are important to the future. That's because half of the world lives in mid-sized cities like Spokane. As our population increases, we need some smart, sustainable answers that fit our community.
So that our urban environments continue to be welcoming and to be the places that we all want to live, grow families, grow jobs, and apply technology without having to think about it to make our lives better.
And the best news of all is that the research these companies are doing here in Spokane can help lead us into the future at a reasonable cost. Urbanova's goal is to create technologies that can eventually be replicated in other places. So here in Spokane, we're kind of like guinea pigs, first in line for getting fed some high-tech benefits.
Oh, Uncle Bob? Oh. He can't, he's deaf, by the way. He's mostly deaf.
At 12 years old, Mac is showing signs of his age, but still loves his daily walks here in West Central Spokane.
This is where we walk very often. This particular day that we were out walking, it was at noon, it was on my lunch hour. He was off leash and he was doing great, and we were where this trail is very, very close to the edge of the ledge going down to the river, and I looked back and he was gone. We asked everyone everywhere, have you seen a black dog? And I had gone down by the river as well.
It's the part of the river that's often home to transient camps, the reason why Code Enforcement Officer Rob Chappie was also walking along the embankment.
I had a complaint of a homeless camp, and usually with those it's the garbage that I'm after. So I was about here, this spot, heading back to my city vehicle. It was parked right there. And I hear people across the river frantically waving and pointing. That's when I heard them say, hey, there's a dog struggling to get out of the river. And so I took off running and got to him. It looks like he probably floated down, and it was calm right there, so he's able to swim ashore. I got him out of the water, and I warmed him up the best I could. And then the gentleman that I ran into earlier found the owner, and she came down, real happy to see her dog, obviously.
He was just completely wet, and poor thing, the other thing is at this point in time, he couldn't walk.
So now the challenge would be getting Mac back up the hillside. Mary Ellen's son arrived with a blanket.
We were going to try to do a blanket carry up, but it was so steep and awkward. We ended up just taking turns carrying him up. Good thing our son was good and strong, because he wasn't light. And I couldn't have done it by myself.
Mary Ellen thanked Rob and rushed the dog to the South Grand Vet Clinic, where Dr. Stephen Rush gave Mac the once-over.
He did take x-rays. He said there were no fractures, but it was possible there was a spinal cord injury. We'd have to wait and see.
While Mary Ellen hoped for Mac's recovery, she tried to track down the code enforcement officer who had saved her beloved pet.
This is Mary Ellen Doty, and I just wanted to recognize one of your employees, Rob.
The voicemail about Rob's heroics spread quickly around Spokane City Hall.
I just want to tell him what an amazing, employee he is. I mean, that's above and beyond.
So at Mary Ellen's request, Rob's boss arranged a little reunion.
Hey. Rob?
How are you doing?
Oh my goodness. You don't even look the same. How are you? Guess who this is?
How are you?
Do you remember him?
Oh yeah, I remember you. Oh yes. You're doing okay, I see.
Mary Ellen brought pizza for Rob's code enforcement colleagues, but as happy as she is about a stranger's kindness, she's still mad at herself for losing Mac.
Well, I'm sort of the protagonist in this story because I had him off leash, but we do that often, or we had done it often. We don't anymore.
But Mac still does take his daily walks with Mary Ellen.
He's back to normal. He's back to normal.
And back at home after this rescue dog got rescued a second time.
Had it not been for Rob, we wouldn't have a dog today. And we would have never known what happened to him.
Well, I love dogs, but somebody, obviously if there's a dog in trouble, somebody's pet, I'm not going to let it drown. And this is definitely a good day when you can go out and help somebody reunite with their dog.
If you'd like more information on the City of Spokane, please check us out on social media or on our website, SpokaneCity.org.